so humble. How do you attract love?
So again, you don't attract love. Love's already there.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you don't attract the breeze. You open your sails and the breeze is already there.
Mm-hmm.
So you realize that love is always is everywhere. And what you're doing is you don't say, I love you. You say, you show me where love is. That's a Peter Crone idea. Mm-hmm. So what you're doing is you're building these pathways to love. So what you have to do is prioritize building pathways to love. And that comes through vulnerability. That comes through authenticity. And that comes through intention and meaningfulness. So when people say, how do I attract love? That's why the book is called How to Be Loved, right? People wouldn't buy the book if I called it How to Be Loved. They're buying the book because it's called How to Be Loved, but the way to be loved is to be love. Be what you want to attract. Love isn't a transaction. So, love exists in service. Love exists in intimacy. Love exists in being your own best friend. Love exists in being your own nurturing parent. So when you go through these, your own personal journey, and you're like, oh my God, these are all the ways my parents messed me up. It's not keeping it there and now identifying yourself as a messed up person. It's being like, okay, well, now I'm an adult and I can fill in those gaps. I have a friend, he grew up on the streets. His mom had problems with addiction. He was homeless for like the first 10 years of his life. Now, things are good for him. As an adult in his 30s, he took himself to the candy store and took his inner child shopping and spent $20 on candy and chips.
Oh my gosh, I wish I had candy right now.
Yeah, and these are the things that as a child he never got. So he did it for himself instead of resenting his mom. He filling in the gaps for himself. So the important thing here is recognizing yourself as a source of love, because you can share all the love in the world and you'll never be depleted. When we don't recognize ourselves as a source of love, we look for it everywhere else. When you look for everywhere else, you're already existing in a place of lack and you're not going to get it, and you're going to compromise who you are and your authenticity to do it. So even just realizing, so for example, for women, a very simple idea that needs to be understood is women cannot compete with women for a man. You cannot do it. To compete with another woman, the only way you can compete with another woman is to reduce your boundary. And by reducing your boundaries, you're already sabotaging yourself and reducing your own self-love. So you lose. You can win the guy's attention, but you lose the long term. So,
and what do you mean by that? Like with the boundary thing, what do you mean exactly? So, I agree with you. But I'm just like, I'm a girl's girl. So I'm like, I would never compete with another girl. But how do you sort of view that?
So in the concept of like, so your boundaries are teaching people how you need to be treated, right? So in that concept, it's, you're not telling people who they need to be. You're setting a standard. So, if you start swearing and yelling at me, I'm not telling you to stop swearing and yelling at me. I can just say, if you continue to treat me like this, I'm going to leave. Continue. If you want to be like that, go ahead, but I'm going to leave. These are my boundaries. I love myself. I'm protecting myself from this situation. In the modern dating situation, men are the pursuers and women are the choosers, right? Everything that a man has to do to win a woman over in just the superficial dating world benefits him regardless. Like, what does he have to do? Get in shape, make a lot of money? Okay, even if he doesn't get a girl, getting in shape and making a lot of money is still good for him in his life, right? For women to compete is not getting in shape and making a lot of money. It's going to be reducing boundaries, trying to make a guy's life easier than the one with the woman he has. Reducing her boundaries doesn't improve her quality of life. Saying yes to when she should be saying no, because that's the only way she could probably take a guy from his current girl. Because, my girl doesn't let me do this, or my girl stresses me over that. So then you go ahead and make yourself seem easier. So that reduction of your boundaries, that reduction of your standards will impact your ability to have love flow within you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trading that love for something that's not love. You're trading it for attention. You're trading it for validation. Validation isn't love, right? And validation is what we have because validation is easier to get. It's fast food. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's quicker. It's cheaper, faster, and more delicious. Yeah.
Delicious, but not nutritious.
Yeah, well, you eat enough fast food, see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if real love is broccoli, the stuff is French fries.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's recognizing these ideas and being like, okay, and the more self-aware anybody becomes, the smaller their pool of people they're compatible with becomes.
And that's something I'm always like trying to tell people is like, you're not supposed to match with like there's 7 billion of us. You can't have 7 billion matches. You can't have everybody love you. You have to just know in yourself that you are, like you said, maybe it's not even worthy, but that you exist regardless. And like, you're not trying to be with everyone. You're trying to find the person that is a fit for you. And that's it. And that pool is actually very small.
And let it be small, because I think the other thing too is I was talking to a friend recently who said, this is a very smart individual. She said, by the end of this year, I'm going to have a baby. So the math doesn't work out. She's also single. So I was like, the math is not working out. And I said, okay, you set deadlines for stuff like this. Then you also have to set deadlines. I'm like, you're guaranteeing your child's going to be raised in a broken family, because you're rushing the baby daddy part, because you've given yourself this deadline. This, I'm not knocking the science of there being an age limit for women to have kids, but it's not as low as people think. A lot of this mid-30s science is actually very old.
I mean, the truth is you could be 25 and not be able to have a child, and you could be 40 and pop out too.
You know what? Let's reference Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, right? Married at 39, I believe, and she's got 4 kids.
Oh, wow.
So do the math, right? And she married Jesse Isler, and Jesse Isler, I think she married him. He was like 46. So, and he's got 4 kids, and he runs ultra marathons. He's in his 50s. So, don't let these timelines make you compromise your standards, because we live in a society with a ridiculously high divorce rate and a ridiculously low marriage rate. So you can accomplish this, but what's going to happen 10 years from now? So if you compromise yourself because you're afraid of being alone, 10 years from now, you'll be alone anyways. Plus, you'll be connected to somebody you don't want because you have to co-parent the child. And again, we do not live in a society that is making this easy. I think this is very important to understand. The world that we live in, the priorities of this massive 300 million person village is to feed the economy. I just think it's really important to say this. Everything that is done is for this economy. They want you to have kids, so you buy a bunch of dumb shit for your kids. They want you to get married, not so you can have a partner, so you can spend a bunch of money on your wedding. You know what I mean? This is what has naturally occurred. I'm not going to say there's just a bunch of dudes at the top rubbing their hands together evil. There's just an economy. We live in a world where corporations matter and they need to make profit, and industries are invented based off this stuff. So everything you watch on TV isn't teaching you how to live. It's entertaining you. And then you start to conflate that with reality. Like you grow up on Disney films. Disney films don't even do it anymore. New Disney films don't even have this unhealthy dynamic, princess in the castle, guy kisses her without consent, all of this stuff. It's not even there anymore. Yeah. But we grew up on that, and then that decides what we want. We want a fairy tale wedding. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're in love with the wedding more than the marriage. We have to recognize this isn't there. Plus the amount of hours that we work, plus the amount of debt that we're in, plus all of that. Like, we are living in a super stressful world. It's not making it easy to be in a monogamous relationship. It's not making it easy to be in a healthy relationship. It's not making it easy to eat healthy food. It's not making it easy to get exercise. This world isn't designed for any of that. This world is designed for you to spend all your time either making or spending money. And it's just really important to understand. So when you want to do this stuff, you have to do it with intention. Anything that you want to accomplish in life, I think in 2023 has to be done with like an intense level of intention. You want to lose 10 pounds? It's got to literally be, your sole goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want to start a business. You want to, fix an injured knee, whatever you want to do. You have to do with a deep level of intention. You want to learn how to cook, anything, because there's so many things stealing our attention right now. So, and I think it's really important. If we pay attention to where the world's headed, people are realizing how hard that is. And now we have all these alternative love lifestyles coming out, whether it's non-monogamy and all these other things, because it's just getting super, super hard. And we just keep thinking we can have what our parents and our grandparents had, but grandpa didn't have Instagram girls to look at. Grandma wasn't texting him all day and then, not getting a response back in time or what have you, and overthinking a text. They saw each other for 3 hours a day, ate dinner, and then, went back to work or did whatever they did. It's a different time. And these ideas were invented at a different time. Marriage, was started from small villages. Romantic marriage is a new concept. Marrying someone that you're actually romantically interested in, it's like a 300-year idea. This isn't what it was.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video and check out our next one. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to this channel for more amazing dating, love, and relationship advice from me and so many expert guests. Follow us on socials. We're at Kinda Dating across the board. I'm Natasha Chandel, so you can find me too if you like. And join our newsletter on www.kindadating.com for lots of exclusives. See you soon.